So myself, Pavan Devarkonda. You can search on Google and you can look into LinkedIn profile. Uh, Myself, I am having around 2 decades plus experience in IT industry, and I've I have worked on different technologies and programming languages, automations. So my skill set mostly related to infrastructure automations and shell scripting and Python scripting. These are the basic things which I have worked on. So you can just search on Google Pavan Devarkonda. You can find my profile. Okay, that's about me. So you can tell about yourself, Sridhar and Mauni.
Um, yeah, myself, Monica. I recently completed master's, and I'm new to this employment. So DevOps position, I just started my position 2 months ago. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to learn DevOps.
Okay.
Yes.
Where are you located?
Um, Ohio.
Hi, Shekhar sir, Monica. Um, my name is Sridhar Murthy. I have 20 plus years of IT experience and related to infrastructure and SQL CRM, Salesforce CRM domains. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to learn DevOps, which helps me in my career.
Yeah, let me begin today's session. So my most of the works I preserve in blogs. So Python also have saved on one of my interesting blog. So Python orientation. So I'll just start today with the Python basic or building blocks, how we are going to work with the Python. You can stop me at any point of time and you can ask your questions. Okay. So I actually this blog is prepared by my students. So I have given a session and they prepare the this page. So I'll just go through the slides and if you have any questions, you can stop me and ask. Okay. Um, it is completely interactive session. Okay. Python. Have you heard about Python earlier? Hello.
Yeah, yes, this can be used to automate.
Yeah. So Python
Yeah.
is a programming language. Python is also present in every Linux operating system. So you can take any Linux operating system or Unix operating system, you can find Python. Python is having a lot of modules. Python is having the capability to automate many things. It is not into one specific thing. It is on web application development. It is also into the administration part in the Linux systems. It is also helps in your DevOps. Any cloud, any virtual machine, if you're going to launch, it is going to have this Python is already installed on your VM. So when we want to work on this Python learnings, you should have a one of the cloud instance. You can have a AWS account or GCP account or a Azure account, free account. Any free account is fine for that. Okay. So this is just basic requirement. Yeah. So other than that, we can also have Python on our local laptop also you can have. So when we are learning this Python, I'm going to tell about the concepts and you will be executing on your laptop on system. Okay. So what is actually Python? Python is a programming language, and Python is also part as a shell, one kind of shell. So do you know any shells? In Linux, we have shells. Any names you can? Hello, guys. Are you with me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know shell programming
Okay.
in the past, but right now I'm not able to recollect anything.
Okay. No problem. So whenever
Yeah.
you have, yeah, Moni, you have some.
I'm not that familiar with scripting, but I know basics of Python. Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Do you know any shell?
Not detailed, maybe the basics.
Okay. Okay. Fine. No problem. So I'll just go to the only basic things, not to intro details. This is a basic intro, right? Demo kind. So there are two types of programming languages. One is normal programming language. Another one is scripting language. Okay. But Python is both programming and scripting language. You can do normal programming coding and you can develop a lot of things in that programming language. Scripting, it will be reside within the Linux system, and you can have whenever you want to automate something on the shell level, it will work. Okay. So what are the shells you have in Linux? Means we can have bash, bash, bash. Sh is the first shell. It is almost 50 years since there is no change. So shell is a most important thing we need to learn for automate, because everything in Linux system that start from shell. So any command you want to give like ls or pwd or cd, mkdir, all these are commands which are executed on a shell. So that will be shell. Born shell is a first shell. After that, we have born again shell. Born shell is sh, and born again shell means bash. That's a full form. And other than these shells, there are a lot of other shells also there: KSH, ZSH, CSH, ECSH. So these are all different number of shells are there. So shells are used for scripting. So what is this difference? How we are going to differentiate? What is the purpose of this? And let's see in detail in this one. So Python, it's a general purpose language, programming language, just like C language, programming language, C++, Java. These are all programming languages. So just like that, Python is also one programming language. So it is applied, and you can also use this Python into a Linux system. So Linux system, it is going to have a scripting mode. Scripting means it is going to have, one time you write a program, it is going to be interpreted. There are two types of executions whenever you write a program. One is interpreted language, another one is the compiler language. If you write C program or Java program, first you need to compile the program and then you need to run the program. That is a programming language style. So two phases will be there. Python is interpreter language, or shell programs, bash, sh, bourne shell, all these are all interpreter languages. So you just write the code, and wherever the error is there or syntactical problem, it will stop there only. It will not go further. So one time, one issue will be tackled in the scripting language. That is easy to move on. So whereas programming languages, it will show all the errors in one go, and you will have more number of issues in the compilation time itself. If all compilation syntax errors are clear, then only it will be going to execute. Complete program is ready, then only you can run the program in Java or C or C++ programming. Okay, so that is the basic difference between the programming and interpretation compilation languages. Okay, the program and script, what are the differences? So when you are executing the source files, which you are going to have the extension. So Python program is going to have the uh, file name .py. That is a Python program style. Scripts also uses the same type of structure, where we can have the .sh or .bash or .ksh. These are the scripting languages. So same programming languages also follows. When you write a C program, .c will be there. When you write the C++, CPP file will be there. When you write Java program, .java will be the extension of the program. Once the program is compiled, you are going to have intermediate code or compiled code, byte code. So when you are going to have this no syntactical errors, then it will be ready to execute. Okay, so the source code, what you write, program instructions, that will be compiled and then it will be executed. So a program in general is a sequence of instructions written so that a computer can perform that certain task. Suppose you want to take one task as a adding two numbers. So in that case, you are going to give the two numbers and it is going to do arithmetical plus operation. Then it is going to display the result output. So that is the overall one simple set of instructions which you can give as a task. Okay, so program will do that one. Whereas the scripts are generally based on the commands. That commands will be executed in the command line also. We are also call that CLI. When you go to Linux terminal, you are going to have execute date is a one command, ls is a command, pwd is a command. So if you put all these three commands put into a file, then that will become a script. Very simple. Okay, so there is no compulsory you need to have a programming control in the scripting. Okay, programming control is required when you want more number of servers you want to handle, more number of tasks you want to handle. In that case, we are going to have the script with the control. Okay, so this is also a type of program what you are writing in a script, but it is going to have all the scripting language commands present in that one as a lines. So it is going to have it is going to invoke some software applications. For example, I'm going to have a Java application server. Let's say Tomcat is an application server. You want to start. For that one, startup.sh will be the shell script. .sh is the shell. So if you are going to say startup.sh, then Tomcat server will be and one software application that will be launched. Okay, so it is controlling some other applications. That is a basic requirement for the scripting. Okay, so these are the two differences, scripting and programming. Hope you understood. So if you have any question, you can ask. Yeah, so history, Python history, I think you don't have any question. I'm moving on. Python is invented in 1990s by Guido van Rossum. So Guido, the spelling maybe it's a little bit odd because it's a Netherlands word. So he is a developer who created this Python language, and he created in his graduation time. He worked on the same project for 10 years and it became a matured application as a Python programming language. And it is initiated, it is developed because of this one special program, Monty Python Flying Circus. This is the name of the TV show. And from this, the cartoon or it may be some comedy show, from that one, the name Python word is used and that is selected as a programming language title or the scripting language title. So this is specially designed as an open source software. So there are two types of softwares. One is open source. Anyone can take that one and they can modify. that is open source. Closed software, closed source means if you take Oracle database, that is a closed. So only Oracle people can modify, other people cannot touch that one. So it's a proprietary. If you want that Oracle database, you need to pay the license fees, then only you can get the software, but you cannot change anything. So that is a closed software. Okay, so these are the Python is a open source. Anyone can add their own functionality, that is called modules. Okay, so that's about a little bit history about Python. So this guy is Gadio Van Rissium. So when he created this Python, he's given a one statement. So the experiments, whatever he created, how much freedom you have with the C program, C++, they have one problem, that is memory the size. So there are some pointers in C programming language, and they have memory leak problems. So to resolve that one, to avoid that one, Java program came into the market. Internet is main backbone for the Java programming, and they focused more on the server side programming. So if you look at server side, if you look at system side, both, if you want to work with one common programming language that is not having any limitations, that is what freedom he meant to say here. And nobody can read another's code. Too little and expressiveness is in endangered. So whenever you see the programming language style, C program or C++, all those languages are going to be enclosed within the flower brackets. Python is not like that. You just indent, you have a discipline language here. So if you put one tab space, then that will be one block. The program is going to build with the number of instructions. That instructions can be some set of lines instructions you can put into one block. So a program can have multiple blocks. So that is the main essence of this Python. You don't need to have a flower brackets, open bracket, close bracket. That is not required to mention that is a block. That is a function. That is a any loop. So whatever the program controls we need, they always, any programming language uses always flower brackets open and close. Okay, so this is having the freedom, and you don't need to have flower brackets in Python. So when you're working with the real-time Python, okay, so this all we can skip. So who can use what, where, all those things I'm just skipping. And once you are having the Python, where we can work, what we can do. So Python up to 2.7 is one type of programming language. Python 3 is different. So complete drastic changes are happened in the Python 3, and it is completely developed for automations in all latest artificial intelligence and machine learning. A lot of libraries are developed for those latest technologies, and this 3 plus version, whatever you are seeing, maybe it is 3.9 or 10, something will be there. Today's version maybe changes. So up to 2.7 is older version of Python. Most of the Linux systems will have 2.7. If you have latest Linux operating system, definitely will have 3. So if you have both in the same machine, then you have to differentiate the command. If you are going to run Python space Python program name, in that case, older version will be the 2.7 will be, our previous version will be working. Python 3, if you want to say, then Python's without space 3 you have to use. Okay, so that is only the difference which we can see. Hope you understood what is Python, how you can do. So you can install Python on your Windows system. That is pretty simple. You can just simply search for Python installer for Windows. You can download and install. And I'll just move on. Yeah, so I'll just give a glimpse of how the Python works. So Python code, looks like this. You can write any comment, any message, any variables we can use. So if you want to use comment, you have to use hash. If you want to define variables within the variable association assignment. So if you take the first line, x is equal to 34 minus 22. So this is some calculation, mathematical calculation, and that will be assigned directly to the x. You don't know what is x type. So if you take C programming, you have to tell what is x before using the x. You have to tell int x, then only integer values can be stored. Here y, hello, you are going to store in that y. Then this is a string. So you have to tell character array, then only you can store this hello into the y. But in Python, you can directly assign that one. Okay. So you can use any type of data and any time you can use. You can check conditions, simple condition, just like English words. You can write the program. So if something conditions and you can validate that one and you want to do some action, you can write that action. So I'm just giving a high level. It's not really compulsion. So when you are having a block, I'm just giving one simple example here. This block is if block. So if block is having two lines. One is x is equal to x plus 1, y plus y, whatever the message we want to add, that one we can add here. So here the block begins with the colon. So if block is starting here, and after that one we have a tab space. So this tab can be 4 spaces or this can be single space. This can be 8 space. It will accept any type of tabs. And after this one, again, we started print. Means this is a main program. In this one, if condition that is having 2 lines. Okay. So this is a kind of program and we can write any type of data. We can access that data. You can print that data. Okay. So this is a simple sample code, how program looks like. Any questions on this?
So this doesn't error out, and this does the calculation like taking the int part or string part and this, right?
Yes, correct. It doesn't
Okay.
require any declaration. Any scripting language does not require any declarations. Pre-declarations required in programming languages.
Okay, thank you.
That is another difference. So sometimes in interview, they will ask you what are the difference between programming languages and scripting languages. This is the one of the difference. First difference is compiler, 2 phases. Second difference is this one. So you don't need to declare any variables. You can directly use them, assign and use it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Sir, but this is not only scripting language, it is also programming language.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So, so how it will differentiate? Because here we are not we are writing scripting here.
Yeah.
How this Python software will recognize? Are you writing a programming language or scripting language?
Yeah. So good question. If you are going to interpret with the only shell base, then it will be scripting. So if you are running in a Python in a Linux system, it will be like a script. The structure of the program, it will be use the scripting model, but the execution part internally it will convert Python into program when it is used in the web application development, or if you are going to work with the machine learning programs. So in that cases, it will become like a programming language. So there are a lot of applications. I'm just giving 2 examples. So if you go for the automation testing, there are 2 types of testings. One is manual testing, another one is automation testing. So one module, if you use that one in the Python program, when it is applied on the application that is running in a browser, in that case, that program what you write for testing, that will be a program programming language, it is going to have a intermediate code. The file will be, when you write the program, that is .py, the test1.py, that is the example. That intermediate program will become test1.pyc. Okay, test1.pyc is going to have all this internal program converted structure that will be ready to run on a Python virtual machine, PVM. In Java, we are going to have Java virtual machine. In Python, we are going to have Python virtual machine. So programming languages will execute on the virtual machines. Okay. So that is how it is going to work. Okay. Yeah, just before going into details of this coding, I'll just show something on the browser so that you can also understand how we can run the program. Let me open another Chrome browser.
Sir, previously
Uh-huh.
you explained about simple code, sample code, right?
Yeah.
So that can be written in Python software which you downloaded on your laptop. Right?
In Windows, it is
My
called
question.
Python IDE.
Okay.
It requires any programming language. Programs can be written in editor only.
Okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't require any language. Program can be written anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whether you are writing this Python code as scripting language or programming language, the basics are same, right? You don't need to
basics are
write
same.
integer type or something like that. Okay.
Not
You can directly
use.
You need to declare. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, in internet, if you don't have a Python installed on your Linux system or Linux system is not available, you can directly go to this killercoda.com. That website is always open for 60 minutes, 1 hour. It will be giving you to use a terminal. Once 1 hour is done, then it will be closes automatically. You can log in with your GitHub account and you can access that one. That is one of the choice. Okay. So I'm just checking this Python version. So it is having Python 3.810. This is the version. Okay. So I just want to write simple Python. Python can be used in two different ways. Interpreter or just like shell. Okay. So shell, how we are going to run all the commands, what you are running. So here also Python is also gives one shell. It is the Python is completely written in GCC. GCC means it is C++, C. Okay. So now if you want to know something about Python commands, you can simply type help. So it will give some, this is a general help. Suppose you want to know something about help in this one, if I'm going to say list, not single quotes. Let me try Python. Documentation is not available in this one. Okay. In this shell, I'll exit. Okay. So there are different functions. There are different execution formats. We can use them. So I'm just coming back from the help prompt to Python prompt. Python prompt is having 3 greater than symbols. Okay. So here, if you want to do any Python commands, any calculations you can do here. Okay. So you are able to see my screen, right? 100 plus 200. Immediately it is giving the result here. Okay. So this is a straightforward, easy to use. Suppose I want to use x equal to 10 minus 7. Okay. So it is directly accepting the value what I'm assigning to this x. I didn't tell anything X what it should be. Okay. So if I'm going to print this one, print X. So I got the result here. Okay. The same thing in the interpretation, you can simply say X, that is also gives the result. But if you write the program and you want to say X, then it doesn't work. Okay. So in the program means when you write .py program, then in that case it doesn't work. Okay. And I'll just give another example here. Hello. S is assigned with hello message. Okay. So if I'm saying yes, it will print hello. Okay. And if I want to concatenate yes equal to yes plus so it is automatically changed now. If I'm going to say yes, you can see hello world. So adding strings is very simple, straightforward in Python, and you can use any numbers, any type of data you can store. Okay. So if I'm going to say floating value 20.5, I think in 5 minutes it is going to disconnect Zoom link, but again you can join back if you get disconnected. Okay, so f is another variable which I am having the floating type of data. Okay, so this kind of data which we can store on Python shell. Okay, so the same thing, I'm just exiting from the Python shell and I'm back to the bash. Okay, how we can say which shell shell. So I'm in which shell? I'm in bash shell. So bash is a shell. Okay. So how do you know? This is a command, which is a command, and you can use the shell variable to display that one. Okay. So coming back to how we can write a program. So we can write program using VI editor or using the nano editor. Okay. So I'm writing first.py. Okay. Insert, and in this I can write print, simple print in Python, very easy, and you can use single quote or double quote, anything is fine. I'm using double quotes in giving the message. So this is a message and this is a program. I have saved that one, and simply if you want to run the program Python first.py. So I'm getting the output. So the same program, I just want to modify that one. And then I want to add one more line here, X. Okay. So X is equal to 100, Y equal to 200. And I want to store this Z with the X plus Y. So I'm adding two numbers. I want to print that result. And you can give the message sum of X comma Y, and then you can give a comma and then give a Z in that one. So you can use any number of parameters as variables which you can store here. So I'm just saving this program and see how it is going to work. Same Python first.py. Okay. So I have given X and Y and added that sum and stored into the Z. Z is displayed here. Okay. So that's the program. So if you want to see the content of this first.py, you can see the program content. So this is a program content. So vi, cat, ls, all these are shell commands. Okay. So hope you understood how we can write a simple Python program. What is Python? It's pretty simple, right? You have any questions? All good?
Yeah, so this Oka, and also we install Python on our laptop, right? Both are different tools.
If you install on your system, yeah, it will be different version. Python will be different version.
Okay.
In Linux, it will be different. Version will be different, but program will be same. Same program will be run
Okay.
in Windows. Same program can run in the Linux.
But
Okay.
maybe some commands are different.
Execution part looks different, but the output is same.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So Python code, if you
Which
start
means,
writing,
which means if I write a code, I can execute in both Linux and Windows.
yeah,
Single program.
exactly. So Python is a platform independent programming language.
But let's say this platform is different and Windows platform is different. If I
Yeah.
am writing a code here, Linux, so how can I transfer this code to Windows platform and then execute there?
Yeah. For that one, we have a source code management tool that is called Git. Okay.
GitHub.
So
Okay.
GitHub will be used. So you can store the actual programs code always stored in a SCM, source code management tool, GitHub. So from there you can just pull that one and you can run in a Linux machine, you can run in Windows system. That's a simple solution. Let's continue from the next topic, that is what here on the screen. You're able to see my screen?
Right.
Yes.
So programming language, if you see any C program, Java program, all they are having the different blocks. So block can be defined with the flower brackets. In Python, we have indentation. So indentation matters in the programming structure. So if you want to write if condition, if after that whatever you have in that is called if block. Else, if something goes false section is another block. So this is the first example of block structure. Any programming language, we need these blocks. So building block, if you understood this one, then you can build any kind of programs. Okay, so I hope you are able to connect to the killer code on your laptop. Are you able to open? Are you having Python on your system?
So I connected through mobile.
Mobile, okay.
I thought this is first class.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. So I can just give you a glance on how we can make the first block and then see how it works. So variables we have already seen, X, Y, whatever we declare, that one is a variables and we can use them anytime. Python figures out the variable type. You don't need to mention int type, float type, string type, all those things. That is not required to tell. Python understands that one. That is what interpretation. Okay, even shell also do the same thing. Bash shell, sh doesn't require any type of type declarations are not required. Okay, so okay. So I'm just switching back to the terminal to give the example. Okay, so I'm just creating vars.py. Okay, so I want to use some variables and store the values and see how it can be validated or how it can be used into blocks. So insert, I'm just using comment first. In the comment, you want to use a comment, then hash should be used. Okay, so integer vars. Okay, so if you want to declare x and y with the value as 10, both you want to store, you can write like this in Python. Only Python allows this one. Another variable I want to use float, float vars. So here I'm saying f is equal to 10.55. So any float value, that point values which you are going to have, that one. Okay. So I just want to write a block here. If x, okay, simple condition. I'm writing just like English. So x equal to y. Then I want to say print x and y are same. This is indentation. So whenever I write if condition, at the end I'm giving colon. Remember this point, whenever you have a colon at the end, next immediate line you have to give a tab space. Okay. So else, again you can give the colon. Whenever you have a colon, remember that tab space. Indentation is required. Print, and then you can use x, y are different. So this is if condition block is completed. Now I want to do another check. F, okay, f equal to I just want to check a condition like f is greater than 10.00 and print. Then you can say in double quotes, is it going to work or not? Let us try that one. F is more than 10.00. So you can write any block. You can stop the block anytime. Okay. I've saved this program. And then I want to run this program. Python vars.py. So simple. Okay. So if you want to see the code, you can see vars. We have 3 blocks. First one is main block, that is having 2 blocks. First if block, okay, and second if block. Okay. So first if block is also having else part. Second if is only having else. Only having if. Okay, so this is how we can check the values, variables, content, and create the blocks. So simple program control, which we are able to do with the if. Okay, so hope you are able to understand. Is it clear? Any questions?
Good for now.
Good for now. Okay. So if you are going to see any numerical operations you want to do, then you can do plus, minus, multiply, divide, percentile. All these are variable, can be integer and float variables you can use, numerical values. Plus is special one that is going to have extra capability, that is concatenating 2 strings. Earlier program we have done that, hello plus world. Okay, and percent symbol that is used for formatting the strings, just like C programming is having percentile S, percentile D, like that. So the value will be replaced automatically, just like printf statement in C program. If you know C, okay, otherwise you can leave that one. Logical operators, we can have 2 conditions at a time. Okay, so if you are going to have 2 conditions, and we can use, or you can use not, you can use. Okay, so not is just like a symbolic thing. So basic printing of any values, any variables, any message, we are using print. So you have seen already example of this one. So these are the basic things about Python coding. So hope you are with me. Okay, so Python code is executed in this format. So whenever you write a Python program, that is called source program, you can write anything .py extension. So if I'm saying the file name is m.py, the m.py will be interpreted, bytecode will be generated, m.pyc will be created, and that will be executed whenever you run Python space this Python program name. This file will be created and that will be run on the PVM, Python virtual machine runtime. So this will be executing your entire program, that interpretation, compilation, everything internally happens. Interpretation is happens for the Python. Okay, so some programs, it is going to generate reusable code. So compiled Python code will be used to another Python program. So in that case, PYCs are very important. So you should not delete any PYC files. Remember that point. Okay, so this high level understanding about how Python program can be interpreted. So we have seen this interpretation from the triple greater than symbol, that is Python prompt. Okay, so whenever you type Python in your command prompt in Linux or in your Windows system, you are getting this triple greater than symbol. So you can give any message, you can print that one, you can use the variables, you can store the values, you can store the array of elements or list of elements, you can print the values directly, you can calculate any numerical values. So these are all basic things which you can execute on Python. Okay, so sorry. All right, so this is all about basic thing what we have Python. So you have any questions? Whatever I talked about, the differences, most interview questions, all present here in this blog post. So Python orientation.blogspot.com. This is a blog. And every content what I'm having here, I'm posted as a sequence of content. So is basic introduction, building blocks, whatever we talked, that is present here. So when you come back tomorrow, we can install Python on one of your system. The most common thing we are going to work with the AWS, that is cloud, AWS cloud with EC2 instance, where we can use Ubuntu or CentOS, any one of the Linux operating system. Okay, so any cloud, whenever you create an instance, that is a virtual machine. Okay, so that virtual machine can have the Python, and you can check the versions and you can execute the programs. So that is all for now. You have any questions, anything which you want to discuss? Python is clear for you? What is Python?
Yeah,
How you can run? What is you can do with Python?
yeah, which is good beginning. Thank you for that.
Sure. Yeah, whenever you connect, definitely you should have a laptop. Yeah, most of the time we are going to do
Yes.
practical. One of you can volunteer to share the screen so that I will tell you will be executing. So that will be the model which we can work on the sessions.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So,
The content will
can
be
you
shared
send
with you. Yeah.
can you send me this blog URL if possible?
Yeah, it's simple. I'll share in the chat window.
Okay, thank
Zoom
you.
chat, you can see.